The steam from Armand Qureshi's teacup curled into the pale winter sunlight like a ghost of the life he once had. Every afternoon at exactly 4, he sat at the small iron table outside the roadside cafe, stirring his tea long after the sugar had dissolved, as if hopping memories would settle the same way. The world passed by in bright daytime noise, vendors calling out prices, schoolchildren laughing, rickshaws honking. But Armand remained still, a man frozen in a moment that had already taken too much from him. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles that happen in broad daylight, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories. Your support keeps these stories alive. Armand had been a single father for 3 years, ever since a sudden illness stole his wife and left him with a heart too heavy and a small apartment too quiet. His son had been the center of his world, a bright-eyed boy named Xavier who loved cricket and mango ice cream. But fate had been unkind twice. A reckless driver on a sunny afternoon had taken Xavier too, leaving Armand with nothing but folded school uniforms in a drawer he could not open. Since then, tea at this cafe had become his ritual, his way of sitting in the sun without feeling completely alone. That afternoon, the cafe was busier than usual. The sky was clear, the air warm, and sunlight painted everything gold. Armand stared into his cup when he felt 3 small shadows fall across his table. He looked up to see 3 identical girls, perhaps 6 years old, with braided black hair tied in pink ribbons. Their dresses were simple but clean, pale yellow cotton with tiny white flowers. Their faces were nervous but determined, and their eyes carried a fear far too old for children. They leaned closer to him, their voices barely above a whisper, and asked him to pretend he was their father. Armand's first instinct was confusion. He glanced around and saw a woman standing several meters away, speaking sharply to a man in a security uniform near the entrance of a nearby office building. The girls explained in rushed, trembling sentences that they were waiting for their mother, who worked inside the building. A distant relative had been trying to take them away, insisting they would be better off elsewhere. They were afraid. They just needed someone to stand with them until their mother came out. Something inside Armand cracked open. He saw not 3 strangers, but 3 children clutching at the last thread of safety they could find. He remembered how Xavier used to hide behind his leg when he was scared. Without fully thinking, Armand stood up. He placed his hand gently on the smallest girl's shoulder and straightened his back, the way he used to when crossing busy streets with his son. The relative approached, a tall man with an impatient expression. He looked at Armand with suspicion and asked who he was. Armand felt his heart pound, but he did not look away. He spoke calmly, saying he was their father and they were waiting for their mother. The man hesitated, clearly uncertain, then muttered something under his breath and walked away, unwilling to cause a public scene in the bright openness of the day. The girls' shoulders relaxed all at once. They held onto Armand's hands as if he were an anchor in a storm. Minutes later, their mother rushed out of the building, her face pale with worry. Her name was Sarah Malik, a widowed accountant who had been struggling to keep her job and protect her daughters from relatives who saw them as burdens. When she understood what had happened, tears filled her eyes. She thanked Armand over and over, her gratitude trembling in her voice. Over the next few weeks, Armand's routine changed. The Iron Cafe table no longer held just 1 teacup. Sometimes there were 4 small juice boxes and crumbs from biscuits. The triplets Ariba, Meher, and Noor would chatter about school projects and playground dramas while Armand listened, at first quietly, then with gentle laughter that surprised even him. The sunlight seemed warmer. The world seemed less distant. Armand still carried his grief, but it no longer felt like a locked room. Helping those girls had reminded him that being a father was not just about biology. It was about standing up when someone needed you, even if only for a moment. Sarah began to trust him, and slowly, carefully, their broken pieces began forming something new, not a replacement for what was lost, but a second chance at belonging. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like, share, and comment below. Tell us where you're watching from and whether you believe strangers can become family. And before we end, write "Kindness creates miracles" in the comments if you believe one small act can change a life.